I'm Allie Zendrian, founder of AtoZ Communications, and this is the Brand Stories podcast. This is where I discuss everything related to marketing, branding, public relations, and communications in general with experts in their fields. This week, we're very lucky because we have two amazing guests. They're so fabulous that, to be honest, I should have both of them on again, probably separately, because as you will see from this conversation, there were a lot of different areas that we could have delved into. This week, we had Financial Planning Association's Chief Executive Officer, Dennis Moore, and the Chief Communications and Development Officer, Ben Lewis. They both shared what it's like to be part of a brand that's built by its members and how that evolution is continuing to move forward. So incredibly excited to have both Dennis Moore, the CEO of FPA, and FPA's Chief Communications Development, all around fabulous guy, Ben Lewis, on our podcast today. I don't know, was that a good enough intro? I don't know how to explain all the things that the magnificence of both of you do.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. Thank you for that. Yeah, and Ben has many hats, and he does a great job with all of them. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I just need more heads.
To get us started, the standard question that I ask everybody is, what's your favorite brand and why?
A favorite brand, probably for me, it's Jordan Brand. Probably no surprise there to Ben. So growing up, I'm a big basketball fan. Been wearing Jordan since I was a kid, and so still collect a few and like to wear them out and about. But anyway, so Jordan Brand is a big one for me.
Love it.
So
what about you, Ben?
I have two. So there's the personal one is TB12, Tom Brady, his own personal brand. I just think it's awesome. Anyway, but I would say actually, and I'm thinking about FPA through this lens, I love REI. And it's not like a logo, it's the message behind REI. Yep. So it's a co-op brand. The brand is owned by its members. Mm-hmm. And to me, I kind of think about FPA a little bit through that same lens, is that FPA's brand is owned by its members. And so all the products, the services, the things like the mission and so on of REI aligns with what they're trying to do for their members. It's kind of in line with what we're trying to do at FPA with our brand. All the tools, the resources, all the things that we do for our members is kind of driven by our brand value. And so I think of REI when I think of FPA.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, to that end, so you guys just celebrated a tremendous milestone in your evolution. So congratulations on that. Mentioning what Ben was saying, you guys are built by the members and for the members. How do you develop a brand like that? And how have you guys achieved what you've achieved thus far?
Yeah, well, it certainly takes time. And yeah, FPA celebrated our 25th anniversary last year. Very exciting. But, I like to tell everybody that our history goes way deeper than that. So FPA was formed from two predecessor organizations, the IAFP and ICFP. And so our history and our roots and just what we've been doing for financial planning and financial planners is well beyond the 25 years, right? So we celebrate 25 for FPA, but again, over that time, so it's the pioneers of the profession and of the association that really saw the value that financial planning brings, the value that financial planners and what they do for their clients, and just building that community. So that's a big thing for FPA is community, not only our chapters and community, just various communities throughout the entire association. So again, building that brand, building that community, it's all around that common purpose of financial planning, making a positive impact and growing the profession and getting access for more people to have access to financial planning across the country.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll just add on there to Dennis's point. I mean, the association was built on the financial planning profession. Our true north is financial planning and helping position our members to be the best financial planners they can be. And what's really cool is that I really think that the 25th anniversary was a bit of a culmination of a celebration of the first 25, but it was also kind of served as a bit of a launching point for that next 25. And so like a lot of the things that we've been doing in the organization over the last couple years, especially last year into this year, on like the conference rebrand and what we've done with FPAI Authority and the release of the all new FPA Media Source and a lot of different things that we've been doing are all focused on better serving financial planners. Again, giving them the tools, the resources they need for the next 25 years. So it was a culmination, but it was also almost in a way kind of a new launching point for us.
Absolutely. Well, and when you think of 25 years, so Dennis, I know you even started with the FPA as a student. So, I mean, the gamut of what FPA runs between planners who might be thinking about retirement soon to planners who are literally just stretching their legs and trying to figure it out. How do you be a brand to such a wide swath of different kinds of planners?
Like you said, FPA has been part of my career since college, and that was my first introduction to the profession, to financial planners, to what it means to be part of financial planning. And again, it's helped me throughout my career. Before joining staff on FPA, I was a volunteer leader for a couple different chapters for the national board, and it's just been part of my career. And that just speaks to, again, the brand of FPA, what FPA does and what they've done and how we continue to do that, because we do have, and I mentioned communities. So we've got the FPA Next Gen community, which is targeted for that new to the profession, the students coming into the profession and those type of things. And so you find your group, your cohort, and that you grow up together. And so that's been for me, a lot of the people that I went to school with or joined FPA and some of the early Next Gen gathering events that I went to early into the career, I still know a lot of those people, and we've grown up together in this profession. And so I think that's part of it, especially when starting at that, you kind of grow up throughout your career with other people. But even that being said, there are ways, regardless of where you are in your career, ways to plug into FPA, whether it's through our conferences. And again, we have a fantastic chapter system, 75 chapters across the country that allow planners and everybody involved in financial planning to actually plug in, join a community, and find what they're passionate about, whether that's pro bono or advocacy or whatever it may be. There's something for everybody at FPA. And that's a huge testament, not only to our members and our chapter leaders, but to the great staff that we have. You know, we've got a staff that helps the chapters, oversees pro bono, advocacy, the conferences, everything like that, to make sure that we're providing that value and that experience to our members across the board.
Yeah. Well, and to give a little bit of a tip of the hat to both of you guys, but even just seeing everything that Ben's doing, so having plugged into that system a little bit, when Ben explained the wide swath that he does as a staff member, it's like, how is one person, do you never sleep? Do you not eat? I don't understand. But so to your point, the staff is really, because of the breadth of programs that you guys offer and because you're trying to reach so many different kinds of people, even though they're all financial planners, it takes a village, really. So what's that village up to these days?
A lot. Yeah, like we've got a lot in front of us. The conference rebrand, we've got our next conference coming up next month, FPA Shift. In La Jolla, so very excited about that. But a couple new things that we've worked on and are unveiling. So the FPAI Authority, which is live now as of January of this year, which is a great resource for our members to learn about AI, right? It's all over the news. You can't turn on the TV or read an article or anything without seeing something about AI. And so what this is, so we're looking to, so how do we add value for our members? And so this is not a specific product. This is not a specific recommendation. This is all about education, helping our members to just better understand what AI is and how it can be a tool for them in their business and their practice and their career, regardless of where they're at in their stage of their career. So that's a big thing that's been well received, and again, trying to bring that education, bring that value to our members. Another big one, and I'll let Ben talk about this one, but reimagined FPA Media Source that we relaunched last year. So Media Source has been around for a long time, but we made the platform easier to use, both for the journalists and the members. But I'll let Ben take that. That's his baby there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk all day about Media Source. But one thing I do want to stress, and this builds off of the question, is about that it's a village. This is an effort of a village. As an FPA staff, we like to say we're lean but mighty. I mean, we're a large national association. When you look at our numbers, from an operational standpoint, we operate like a very lean organization. Yeah. That village, though, is really important because it extends outside of paid staff to the countless volunteers who every day, whether at a national level or a local level, are rolling up their sleeves and doing a lot of heavy lifting to kind of ensure that our members are getting maximum value from their affiliation, not only nationally, but through their local chapters. And we proudly have about, I think it's like 800 volunteer leaders across our 75 chapters. And each one of those chapters has a paid staffer who's there, kind of like the backbone of their own operation. So the village is a lot bigger than what we like to say is, again, we're lean but mighty nationally. Yeah. But as far as Media Source goes, yeah, look, everybody knows my great affinity for FPA Media Source. We launched this program, I want to say in 2017. Since then, we've sent out just over 10,000 queries from journalists from everywhere. Just today, we sent a couple out from MarketWatch, and I think Barron's was one of them, Investopedia. These are opportunities for our members to gain not only some visibility, but that third-party validation of who they are as financial planners. You know this, Allie. You're a PR flack like me.
Yeah.
You can appear in CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, New York Times, whatever. It is third-party validation of who you are, your standing as a financial planner. This is unbelievable, not only obviously for your SEO and so on, but when you can position that to clients and prospects, it sets you apart from the competition. So to me, it's one of the great values of membership. Just as being a CFP professional member of FPA, you get access to it. And it's, in my mind, I think it's well worth the price of admission.
And then some. But tying what you said to what Dennis was mentioning about the FPA's mission to broaden the scope of financial planning and financial planning services for people, I think even MediaSource arguably does some of that, because if I read an article and it's about whatever financial topic interests me, retirement plans, a divorce, financial planning, whatever, and I see whatever expert and I feel like what they said was really smart, I wonder maybe they could help me. Hopefully that starts the conversation that otherwise wouldn't have happened.
And look, it's when we do our media training for our members, one of the things that we always stress is be an advocate for financial planning. Every single interview you get, any query that comes through FPA Media Source, you can always tie it back to the value of financial planning, because no one issue, whether it's investing or insurance or taxes or what have you, should be done in a silo. It should be based off of what the entire financial picture tells you to do. And that can only be determined through financial planning and working with a qualified financial planner. And so I'm always encouraging our members, whenever you get an interview, whenever you're responding, highlight the importance of that financial planning process to make the best decision possible. And quite honestly, if we had more people out there who are proud financial planners preaching that, I think the profession would probably look a little bit different than it does today.
Yeah. Getting back to FPAI authority, which you mentioned, Dennis. So I would agree with you. I think it's been great so far. And I think one of the tenets that really interested me is that Matt Reiner from Capital Investment Advisors, who partnered with you guys to make that happen, it's exploring these tools, but it's not saying XYZ tool is the most amazing thing ever, sign up for it tomorrow. It's getting in the nuts and bolts and understanding, well, it does this, but you know what? It kind of stinks at this, like try that. How have you guys seen that conversation evolve, and what do you hope that will become for the FPA?
Yeah, and Matt's done a great job, and I'm really excited to have him partner with us on this. So he's a CFP professional as well. He comes from financial planning. And so as he's reviewing these AI tools and technology, that's his lens, which speaks directly to our members and to our communities. So he gets it. He understands the compliance concerns. He understands what it means for financial planners and their practice. And so that, I think that's been the biggest thing. So not only is the FPAI authority online and the website with the blogs and the newsletters, but he's also speaking at our conferences. And so actually to being able to be there and connect with members and take questions and present it live, different things like that. Again, like you said, it's not a recommendation. It's not saying use this tool. It's just an evaluation and education on the variety of tools that are out there. And that's what we're seeing. He spoke at our most recent one, FPA Lead, the beginning of February. After his presentation, a lot of the questions were really very specific to how do you use it in the practice of financial planning. And he was able to speak to that. And so I think that's really, again, overall, its value completely just through all of that. But just that interaction and just being so specific to this profession, I think really brings a lot of value and comfort to our members too. AI is all over the place. Like I said, it's changing. There's new tools, all of that. It can be overwhelming. And so he does a great job of just kind of getting through all the noise and getting down to the bottom line and kind of identifying what each tool does and how it can be useful.
Love it.
I'll just chime in here. We've seen what went on with robo-advisors, and there's a big fear at that time that, robo-advisors is going to take the jobs of financial advisors. And I think we saw that wasn't the reality, right? If anything, it actually heightened the awareness that you need a real person sitting across that table from you. And AI is not going away. It's not going anywhere. It is here to stay. And FPAI authority, and again, big shout out to Matt Reiner and Capital Investment Advisors, because Matt really, he looks at everything, he digests everything, and he puts into layman's terms to help financial planners who aren't astute on AI better understand it. And at the end of the day, and I've on my FPA Live stuff, I always talked about how financial planning is the ultimate human-centric profession. You need to be human. And AI, when leveraged right, and this is what Matt does, he helps people understand how to leverage it and use it the right way. It can actually make you more human in your role as a financial planner. It can help you ensure that you have that time because you've built in some efficiencies on your end to be able to do kind of those medial tasks that you always have to do in planning. So you can really roll up your sleeves and sit across that table from your clients and actually engage in that conversation. A computer can't do that. Mm-hmm. Only a real person can do that. And that's the beauty of really through FPA authorities. It's not only helping our members get involved in the conversation, but helping them not get lost in it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We say a lot. Financial planning is a relationship business. It's about the behavioral, it's about the connection of people. And so AI will be a tool to help you with that. But yeah, it's all about people.
Yeah. Well, and thank goodness that FPA is their partner in planning. So we're grateful to you guys to be able to have that. But getting back to FPA Lead, which you mentioned, Dennis. So you guys also had quite an exciting announcement at Lead, the new revamped planner search, which is underway. And I know that we're all excited about. What would you say that that's going to be like, and how game-changing is that going to be for planners moving forward?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We're very excited about this. So again, FPA Planner Search, very much like Media Source, has been around for a while. It hadn't been updated in a little bit, and so we were looking to update it. And so right now, it's more of a directory, but we wanted to do more than that. We wanted it to really bring value to our members, really be meaningful. Hopefully, get them some lead generation and just really kind of have an impact to their business. And at the same time, we want it to be valuable and useful for the consumer. And so we're partnering with a great partner, Snappy Kraken, who's fantastic, a leader in this space in the marketing technology and within this industry and profession. And we're really excited about what we're putting together. And so it's going to, again, talking about financial planning and it being a relationship business and things like that, it's going to focus on that. It's going to focus on the human element for the consumer. So we feel it's going to be easier for the consumer. They're going to feel heard. They're going to feel seen, not just a number on a spreadsheet, but it's going to actually connect with real humans. And for our members, it's going to give them a great tool to be able to have some lead gen, to have a presence out in the marketplace. And again, Planner Search has been around, and so it's already there. People are familiar with it, and so this is just going to boost it even more. And basically, even with, we were just talking about AI, so some of the enhancements that we're doing is just making sure that, a lot of people are now searching for through AI to find their searches or what they're looking for. So if they're looking for a financial planner, however it may be, through just a regular internet search, AI search, whatever it may be, we're building the new FPA Planner Search to make sure that it's prominent wherever a consumer searches.
Great. So Ben, how would you explain the behavioral finance aspect of it? Because I know that that's sort of baked into it too, that there's even on the consumer side of things, it's helpful for financial planners, but it's also going to help consumers to frame their mind and understand who fits with them.
Yeah. So this is, to me, I think going to be one of the cool byproducts of the new planner search is that it's going to, I think, better clarify what it means to do financial planning and what makes somebody qualified to actually do it. So the new system is, there's going to be psychographics that are going to be built into this, where there's going to be a questionnaire on the front end where consumers can go in and answer a variety of questions that are more behavioral focused. It's not about your assets. It's not about your income and things like that. It's all based off of the emotional aspects of your money and how you actually engage with it and the concerns that you have and so on. And so our members, when they're participating in this, when they're building out their profiles, they're going to be answering similar questions. And so what the whole system is going to do is it's actually going to match consumers with planners where there's more of a behavioral relationship match and not about the numbers. Of course, you'll be able to dig in and you'll be able to kind of based off your assets or based off of life stages or whatever. But it's more about bringing that emotional connection to your money and to the relationship with the planner more to the forefront. And that's going to be, I think, a really cool feature of this. That is going to be, quite frankly, I think, unique in the marketplace. None of the other systems really do what we're talking about.
Amazing. And so I think this even speaks to the financial literacy work that you guys are doing. So you're really laying that groundwork at even the most basic level at the high school and community level of what people need and what they should be aware of, which, to be honest, I mean, I wish that we had done so much sooner, that like somebody like me could have grown up with more of that. But how do you guys engage in that work, and what has that meant to you guys as part of the FPA?
Yeah, and so that's a big piece of our advocacy work. A lot of times when you hear the word advocacy, people immediately think of like a legislative or regulatory action, which that is part of it. But for us, it also means pro bono planning. It means financial literacy. It's basically advocating for our members, for the consumer, for the profession. And so the financial literacy piece is a huge aspect of our advocacy efforts. And as Ben mentioned earlier, the village. So it's more than just the staff. It's our members across the country. It's our chapter leaders. It's our volunteer leaders. It's everybody who really wants to dive in. And this is really an important topic for a lot of them, for most of them. And so we've been able to engage at the state level on a lot of these initiatives on financial literacy, on trying to get states to pass a law for it to be a requirement to have some type of financial literacy through high school or things like that. And we've been really successful in doing that. I think that there's 30 states now that require some sort of financial literacy to graduate high school. So great progress being made, still more to be done. And that's what's, really exciting, that we are starting to kind of see that momentum, and people outside of FPA understanding just how important financial literacy is. Because especially at that age, exiting high school, whether they're going right into the workforce or college or whatever it is, it's that age that you're about to make some decisions that will impact the rest of your life. And without having that financial literacy and know-how, or even just the basics, that could be some very important decisions made without the knowledge needed to make them. So very important for us, very important for our chapters. And again, I can't thank our chapters and our members and all of our volunteer leaders enough for all the passion and the work that they do in this area.
Great. As a closing question to you guys, so for anybody who's not part of the FPA now, how would you explain the reason that they ought to be making 2026 the year that they join?
Yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, Allie, so FPA is your partner in planning, and that means throughout your entire career. So regardless of where you are, new to the profession, mid-career, career changer, more tenured, whatever it may be, FPA is your home for anybody in financial planning. So CFP professionals and anybody involved in financial planning. We're business model agnostic or compensation neutral. So again, it doesn't matter how you do it, just as long as you're doing financial planning with the client's best interests in mind, FPA is your home. And so, and not only for that and for the community, but we've got local chapters that you can plug into. We've just highlighted a few of the benefits that FPA has: FPA Media Source, FPA Planner Search, the conferences, FPAI Authority, a ton more different type of benefits to plug into within FPA. And one more that I'll mention too, and I'll let Ben give his thoughts on it, but I think we may have mentioned it, but if not, but the FPA competency model. We've talked a lot about the behavioral side of financial planning. So that's a great new model that we just rolled out last year as well. And it's all about that behavioral finance piece. We're not saying that that's more important than the technical side. Technical side is still as important as it ever was, but the behavioral side complements it. It's about communication. It's about leadership. It's about the profession. And FPA has a great tool to help you hone those skills to be able to, again, connect, communicate, and really be in this relationship business that financial planning is, be able to connect with your clients. So FPA is your community, and I would encourage you to check it out if you're not a member.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I would just add, the latest research shows that over a third of people in financial services, financial advice, financial planning are going to, over the next 10 years, be leaving the profession. And there is a need to bring in more young talent, more people to find financial planning as their vocation. Luckily, at FPA, we've got a really dynamic next-gen community. They're doing, it's thousands of members. They're doing some unbelievable work to help our aspiring planners, the people who are in the college programs who are trying to find their place, to identify their pathways, their career pathways, how they can get involved and engaged. So when I think about who should be joining, I really think that students and young people who are trying to find their place in financial planning, this is a natural home for you. A lot of what we do as an association, again, whether it's through Next Gen or the competency model or things that we're doing, it's all really designed to help people who want to get in the profession learn to become the most exquisite financial planners they can possibly be. You can go out and earn your CFP marks, and we are steadfast at our belief that, anyone who's doing financial planning should be a CFP. But at the end of the day, just having marks doesn't make you an exquisite financial planner. So everything we do, again, whether it's our residency program or it's all designed to help position the next generation of financial planners for success. And so if you're out there, you're listening, I would just encourage you to take a look at everything that FPA is offering, because I really think that we're in a position to really kind of help forge the future of this profession. And it's going to require having those folks be a part of that work.
Love it. Thank you both so much for generously coming on the podcast and explaining all this, and looking forward to all the fabulous things that FPA is going to do this year and beyond.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us on, Allie, and for helping us tell the FPA story.
Oh, it's a beautiful story to tell. I should be so lucky.
We appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.